Okay, everyone. This session is going to be on other equity investments. You will see these in your chapter 1 if you got the Series 7 books. And typically some of the other courses as well. The Series 66 and 65 also have it, I believe, in the first chapter under equities. But what we're looking at are REITs and ADRs, American Depository Receipts, and real estate investment trusts. Now, when you look at the investments inside these portfolios, take a look at ADRs first. An ADR is investing in a foreign stock. So take a look at your Nestle chocolate bar. It has Nestle, but it has that little accent on the E. It's a French company. If you wanted to buy Nestle stock, Nestle happens to be one of the largest food companies in the world. I was surprised when I was visiting Asia. They're all over the place. And they do more than just chocolate. But that's the way I grew up. I grew up loving that and Hershey chocolate. But let's say you wanted to invest in Nestle stock. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can buy stock on the London Exchange, or you can go to the New York Stock Exchange. If you go to the London Exchange, you get the foreign stock, the common stock. It costs more. It costs more to do that. But also, when they pay a dividend, they're going to pay it in euros. So there's going to be exchange concerns and all that stuff. If you buy it on the New York Stock Exchange, you can get an ADR. And it'll have the symbol for Nestle and then right down at the bottom. So I don't know what it is. Let's say N. But then right at the bottom it'll say ADR. American Depository Receipt. Now, 1-to-1 is typically not available. What I mean is, if you want to buy one share of Nestle, you would not be able to buy one share of ADR to get the same ratio there. And typically, one share of an ADR equals 1 to 10 shares of the foreign stock. So how does this come about? A company, a bank, commercial bank, goes to the London Exchange and they buy a bunch of Nestle stock. They buy Nestle stock from the London Exchange. They then securitize it. Securitize it means make something a security. Well, Nestle stock is already a security, but what they're doing, this is done by a commercial bank. Let's say, for example, that they bought 4 million shares. And let's say the ratio, which is very common, 4 shares to 1. So they take those 4 million shares of Nestle stock and they make them Nestle ADR. And 1 million is sold into the marketplace through an exchange or over the counter. This could go through NASDAQ. I don't know. A lot of times it's going to go through NASDAQ simply because it's going to be cheaper. So what's the benefit of getting it? Most definitely saving transaction costs and the exchange rate between euros and that. Because when Nestle pays a dividend, they're going to pay the dividend in euros to the bank. And the bank is going to convert that and send it out to the shareholders. So if we have an ADR that is 1-to-4, one share of ADR equals 4 shares of Nestle stock, common stock. 25 shares equals one round lot. It would be the equivalent of 100 shares, which is a round lot when you trade. So there's a lot that they do. Most definitely the major issue is they make it easier for Americans to trade in the United States exchanges on foreign securities. But they also help with the cost of the exchange rate between the currencies. And they'll do it at a lower rate too than what you'll get at other areas. Just keep in mind that, you know, it could range from 1 to 10 shares. And typically that's going to depend also on the price in the foreign market. Now, if you wanted, at any time you own the ADR shares, you can send them back to the commercial bank, and you can have them exchanged for the appropriate number of shares for the common stock. And they're required to provide you with those shares. Now, it'll take a while for them to generate that move over, but yeah, you'll have the shares. You'll be able to have the shares there. So keep in mind the benefits. Foreign stocks, trading in USA, currency exchange, you're going to get your dividends in US dollars, okay? In whatever account you put it in. You can acquire this through your broker, through Charles Schwab, through Merrill Lynch, through E-Trade, through your insurance broker too, if they have a broker-dealer inside there and they trade in securities. So a lot of places have brokerage services available that they can get the regular stocks, the REITs, and the ADRs. Okay, so that's an ADR, American Depository Receipt. Let's take a look now at real estate in America and try to get an understanding of REITs. Real Estate Investment Trust. So what should that tell you right off the bat? Right with the T, trustee. Doesn't have a board of directors. It's managed and operated by trustees. There's 3 types. And what they're doing is they're investing in real estate in some format. An equity REIT owns commercial property. A mortgage REIT owns mortgages on the properties. So it doesn't own the property itself. It buys up the mortgages. A hybrid has mortgages and commercial property. All in one big portfolio. And this is managed. It has to be. So know the 3 types. Know that $75% has to be in real estate. %90 of the income that's generated inside this has to be distributed. It's a pass-through investment. It's going to pass the profits to the shareholders, to the owners of the shares. It doesn't pass depreciation or losses. It passes income through. That way, it's not taxed inside the trust and then taxed again once it's distributed to the investors. Just like the S Corp that we talked about in the earlier episode of common stock. The S Corp is a way of being a conduit, a means of taking it away from taxation on the corporate side and then putting it just back on the investors. It's a lot better than being taxed up here and then being taxed down here. Double taxation never is never good. So, REITs, real estate investment trusts, and American depository receipts. Know them? You can expect a couple questions probably on each. It may only be a paragraph or two in the book, but it's very important. They're very popular. Now, any questions, feel free to contact us at finclasses.com. You have a great day.